All right, this is RJ from HK Motor Cars. I'm here today with this 1934 Packard 8 convertible Victoria. For 1934, that was the 11th series of the Packard 8. And the convertible Victoria, which we have in front of us, whether it was with the 8, the Super 8, or the 12, was by far, by today's standards, the most desirable configuration of the 13 options available, whether it was a coupe with a fixed head or a convertible, whatever it would be. The convertible Victoria is the car to have. Of course, one of the most famous 34 Packards is the Packard 12 convertible Victoria, the Italy Packard, which just recently sold at Hershey. Regardless, this car is extremely special, no less. It is an 8, so it's the 320 cubic inch L head, straight 8 Packard. It's about 125 horsepower, but this car is immaculate. It is in fantastic running condition. It has had a couple stewards since it was restored in the late 90s. The restoration overtook about 3 years. It was undergone by collector Elliott Jones, who owned the car at the time, and after it was restored, this car was shown at Pebble Beach, at Meadowbrook Concours, and it later won class awards at Meadowbrook again when it visited in the early 2000s. And it's really just a very sweet, sweet car. It's finished in a very, very pretty ivory against with burgundy fenders, the burgundy matching spare tire covers, as well a very rich burgundy leather interior with this nice burled wood. It does have a matching trunk with fitted suitcases, and if we open this up, you'll see as well there's a jack in here, and there are covers for the tonneau cover goes in here as well. So the bag for the tonneau cover goes in the back. When the top is up, very, very handsome with the somewhat raised rear portion, which not only gives your rear passengers a little bit more legroom, but it just really looks elegant and quite nice. So 34, very particular styling on the front grille, the radiator grille. These slats open up, and this was changed a little bit in 1935, much to many people's chagrin, and then Packard changed the radiator to kind of go back to this style a little bit in 36 and onward. It's just very characteristic of these cars, really, really pretty. If we go ahead, I'll just open up the hood over here. I'll open one of these sides. I'll show you what we're working with. So as you can see, we do have the cast alloy crankcase down there, and then the engine block and head are both painted in the correct Packard green. We do have this single dual throat carburetor. There's our air intake here. There's our original chassis stamp right there. This is a Dietrich body car, so it is not coach built. This is from the catalog, as most Packards of 34 ended up being, but I would say that's probably a good thing, because the Dietrich designs for their in-house bodies are some of the prettiest and just most elegant of the period. And look in here. So this car does have a hand throttle right here. This will actually it's kind of the predecessor to cruise control, if you will. We do have our e-brake right here. We have some kick vents on the doors there, standard air vent right there. As you can see, good amperes. Our gasoline gauge works. We have about 17 gallons of fuel, 18 gallons of fuel. Temperature's about 140 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I did have a chance to do a couple loops, and let's just go ahead and fire her up. So push the throttle in once to set the auto choke. Make sure we're in neutral. There you go. She's running. Not exactly a vicious roar to life, but that's not really what you want with a car like this. It purrs like a kitten. So at idle, about 15 pounds of oil pressure, perfect, on the money. And since this car was restored, only 514 miles. So this is, and it's been cared for and maintained since, mechanically speaking, which is part of the reason why it runs so well right now. But go ahead and push our handbrake in, and then let's go for a drive. Of course, being that 3-speed synchro mesh transmission, you don't need to double clutch. You can get in and drive it just like a regular car. Well, there really is nothing like driving a 90-year-old car through typical rush hour traffic It's actually a little bit before rush hour right now, but nothing like midday traffic. This is a pretty busy section up here in Westchester County, New York. But sitting and waiting in a car like this is not such a bad thing, I would say. So we're gonna take a right up this hill here in second gear. A little sluggish on that steep incline. That is a very steep hill. But once you cross the crest, as you can see now, we are just cruising. These L-head straight eights have quite a bit of low-end torque. That's kind of what Packard is notorious for. You know, besides, so I think in 34, they owned over 40% of the executive luxury market share for luxury cars. Obviously Cadillac and Lincoln were struggling, and Pierce Arrow was knocking on death's door. You know, 1934 was not a very good year to be in the luxury business. But one of the things that's, you know, made Packard stand out was just their resounding quality. And that applied to almost every, you know, facet of their cars. Not just the chassis, which were state of the art, but also the driving experience. It is so smooth out here on the roads. And we have our hand throttle here, by the way, so I can comfortably cruise along. And we're in third gear. Gorgeous weather right now, not too cold. I have my kick vents open. We can also open the vent right in front of the cowl right there. We do have to do the obligatory horn test. Our ashtray right here. How you doing back there?
Quite nice.
Quite nicely. It's hard to have a bad day in the back seat of a Packard. Now, this car is itself actually a CCCA, Classic Car Club of America, Premier winner. It's a full classic, so it's widely eligible for all sorts of CCCA driving, touring, or show events. But really, I mean, this is the kind of car that you take out on a Sunday morning and you pull into the gas station and every single person is just in awe of what they're, you know, what's in front of their eyes. I forgot also to mention the clock still works. All your gauges work. It's an 8-day Waltham clock. Let's see, that reads 307, 308 right now, so not bad. Yeah, you know, we're gonna wrap it up there. If you have any questions at all about this car, believe me, I won't blame you. There are plenty of things to ask about. Or if you think I missed something and you would like to see something more up close that we didn't already include in the listing gallery or in this video, don't hesitate. Leave a comment. Send us an inquiry. You can contact us directly on the Contact Seller tab. And I will just show really quickly engaging reverse gear. No problem at all. Straight cut. You hear that nice little whine. But yeah, you can always reach out directly on the Contact Seller tab or on our website, hkmotorcars.com. But for today, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. We're making quite a scene here. How's it going? And we'll see you next time.